In 3.
I believe we are. I don't have the remote.
Okay. Well, the time is now 4 minutes after 7. Call to order the Tilton Budget Committee meeting for June 8th, 2016. And first issue is the minutes of the last meeting. Has everybody had a chance to look at them? Any comments? Questions? Corrections?
Make a motion to approve the minutes of May 11, 2016 as written.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All
Abstain.
opposed?
I abstain.
2 abstentions. The next order of business is the financial reports. And before we have the financial reports, there is one amendment to it, and I'm going to ask the point person for the issue to address us. I'm going to call on Selectman Constantino to...
Oh, the other issue.
Yeah.
As you know, recent events and regarding the Pines Community Center, the Board of Selectmen voted to withhold further funding from them at this time. The board, I can tell you that the board is in communication with the chairman of the council, Rose West. They are making some changes. One of those changes is Dean Burns has resigned his position as director. Everything else is non-public harm, can't discuss the business, ongoing, obviously, investigation going on, and it's, but, it affected the residents here, and we want to make sure we buy services that they don't fail us.
Okay. I only have one question, is that, are you withholding for the entire year, or just I believe they received their money in quarters?
We paid them the first quarter, it was 16,000 and something, 680 $, something like that. And so we're withholding until further notice.
Okay,
No more monies are going out.
all right. Okay, thank you. All right, did everybody get a copy of the, oh, I'm sorry.
Just, so, the money that we paid them this year, last year at this time, we had already paid half of their money, so we've only paid them a quarter of their money, and it's being withheld at this time?
We were due to pay another quarter,
Okay.
and that we did not.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was from future, or was it just the second half of the year type thing, or was it, so it's 3/4 of the year?
Stopped immediately.
From the point,
And the date
2
we made the
weeks,
motion.
it was about 2 weeks ago, or a week ago, from that point on.
And they have been notified of that. All right, did everybody get a copy of the fuel usage?
Yes.
I know that Johanna, I got an email, so I didn't know whether people had a chance to review it. Okay, just want to say one thing. If you look at the report that we got, we have a large percentage has been used for financial administration. And for your information, that's because the debt is paid out, that's debt payments, and they're paid out usually through April, so that's why there's such a big percentage of that. It's, I think, and the other thing that stood out to me is the printing charges. Again, if Tim has a chance to get something at a reduced cost, he does it, and he purchased checks in advance, I believe, because there was a great deal of savings. Plus, we've had the printing for the elections. We've had town reports, so that's why that figure seems out of line. It's really not, but it appears to be that way.
Does all that come out of the finance printing budget, or what's the administrative printing
I
budget?
think it's,
Because that's 193%.
well, it's both, that's why, when I said printing, I meant just general.
Just
If you look
general.
through the report, you'll see it in several places. And the other thing is, there is an error under the police. It says bottled water and Terminex, that's just a misprint. I think Tim is correcting that, he just didn't have a chance to do it when it was brought to his attention, and you'll be getting a correction on that.
Well, in order to correct it, he needs to post one, you'll see it posted.
Yeah.
And then you'll see it voided, that's why you see it so many times under the actual payouts on page 17.
Yeah. Page 17.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
About halfway down.
Bottled water. Oh, well.
See it? I accused him of trying to poison the police department, but... All right, does anybody have any comments about anything?
Jane, I have a question. When you said the financial debt was paid through April, is that April of next year?
No. It was, said that he was paying it, April was a heavy month for that payment. Every year, they have to pay out the debt, and it's
Right.
done the first few months of the year.
And then none the rest of the year?
Well, if some comes due, then it is, but the bulk of it is the first of the year.
Okay. 'Cause it's
And that's why
97
it's
already.
over.
Okay.
It seems to be over. Instead of being like 30, in the 30s or 40%, it's like 75, 80%, I think, in some cases.
I thought I saw 97.
Well, in some it is.
Okay.
Anything else stand out?
Looks like the Lakes Region Mutual Fire Aid was paid almost in full.
Yeah, that's the dues, right?
It was due early.
Those are dues that have to be paid. And the weapons, we know about that, we discussed that at the last meeting. Another thing I wanted to mention is we've hired a prosecutor. When does he start?
We have some personnel changes
Yeah.
in the highway, and we have some personnel in the police department. John probably should, if you want, I guess.
You want to address those, John?
Yeah, we hired a prosecutor, police prosecutor, so official lawyer, that will be starting in August. Will be with the police department. And we've got an agreement on his salary. Get the amounts on, it was 53, I think he
It'll
starts.
gradually at 62,000, gradually will go up to 2018 to 75.
This is a new permanent position.
Permanent position.
Can you explain what a police prosecutor is?
The difference is, before we had a police officer working as a
Like
prosecutor.
internal controls,
And, what's that?
like internal affairs type of situation, internal control?
No.
Prosecutor at the courthouse, and for prosecuting the crimes that are committed and other legal issues that might occur. By having the prosecutor being official lawyer, we can also use him for reviewing some of our documents and things like that that we have been sending out to, town's attorney and that. Most of the other towns in the state have gone that way, just with the legal things that happen and crimes that are being committed. It's a lot more successful. And the former prosecutor is going back as a patrolman, and so it's eliminates the need of having to have another patrolman because we're down some to him, so it frees him up. Should be a lot better.
The official title is attorney prosecutor as opposed to police prosecutor. The difference, one has a law degree. The attorney prosecutor, the police prosecutor has limitations where the attorney prosecutor can have more in-depth field of cases and things, research and available.
How much experience does he come with?
He has a few years of experience in internship, scored highest in his class, and just
Awesome.
graduated.
That's good.
Actually. But he has served under, currently he's served under some judges in Attorney General's office, County Attorney's office, I'm sorry. County Attorney's office.
Great.
And he's been a police officer in Tilton for a number of years.
So is he be taking prosecuting for things that the Attorney General's offices won't cover? Is that what it?
It's,
I didn't know towns had prosecutors.
yeah.
I just assumed the Attorney General's office took everything.
Yeah, when the police go and arrest somebody or give them a ticket or whatever, and they go to court, it has to be before a prosecutor representing the police department, because our present prosecutor is not an attorney. They take, I think it's about a 3-week class on it or something. It's a very, it's tough. And
Yeah.
12-week class.
And the hard part now is the attorneys, they'll hit you with everything they can to try and get these guys off.
Sure.
And you got to be right up on it and to have all that type of training and to deal with the attorneys. And the attorneys will go and file motions nonstop to try and if you're just a police prosecutor, it's really tough to deal with those things. But our present prosecutor, he was doing a good job. The judge did like him. He said he was an excellent prosecutor, but there's just limitations that...
So he's staying on the budget as a police officer, and then we're adding someone else. What's the net effect of the budget?
We're down, I think we're down 2. We have 2 officers that we're down, so that works out good because we can put one of the officers that we're down, we can use him to fill that spot. He's a patrolman, and he's really good. So, and he also does all our firearms trainings and a lot of other trainings.
He's a patrol officer assigned to the prosecuting task. So he's always been a patrol officer. He's going back as, the bike unit, the patrol, everything, firearms training. We do not have 4 corporals. We have 1 corporal less. And so there's changes there. So the net bottom line to salaries will not change much. I think Tim figured it out, and don't hold me on this, I think it's $8,000 or $9,000 was the difference.
So that he's filling a position that was already open, in a sense.
Well,
Person's filling it,
we changed things around a little bit, and we have 3 corporals instead of 4. And we have an attorney prosecutor, and we have 1 more out in patrol on the streets.
And the other question is there still an opening at the police department?
Currently,
Like, we had 2 openings, like John was saying. Our police prosecutor now becomes a patrolman normal to fill one of those holes. Our new guy is technically filling the second hole, and the net change in salary is negligible, a few $1,000s. Is there still an opening? Or are all the holes filled?
the only, no, for a full-time position, no, the only thing that I can foresee that would happen is we enhance our list, a roster list for part-time offices, because, as you know, we use the part-time offices in order to keep down the overtime. Right now, we have a very slim list of part-timers, and I could see us increasing that, but you only pay them when they come to work.
Yeah, to save money.
So that's all I can see that would happen.
But we're not still actively looking to fill another hole?
No, we're not.
Okay.
No.
Position that's being
Now, the prosecutor, the attorney prosecutor position is a salaried position,
Yes.
Yes, it is.
and the patrol prosecutor was a union,
That's correct.
okay. So he was paid hourly.
Right. Right. So he will also, like John said, he will also probably help us out with contractual things that we need to send out to a lawyer to get, looked at. We'll be able to have him look at it instead, and will save us some money on that end.
So you anticipate our legal fees going down?
I'd like to see them go down.
Contracts we're negotiating.
Yeah.
It's a really hard thing to determine, is legal fees.
Oh, no, I know, if you get a suit
But
or
at least,
whatever.
but you know what, we'll have someone in-house to give us a
Yeah.
better, should we hire, even if it's just, should we get outside,
And also to
Just
review things.
filter things, if anything else.
I know on the planning board, we've had to use attorneys in the past, and he could fill that if we needed it.
Certain things.
Right now, Tim has been filling our contracts and looking at them and doing a, pretty darn good job at it. A couple of times we felt uncomfortable what the issue was contractually, that we sent it out to where, and, came back and it was actually the same as what Tim had said. It cost us a little bit more money to find that out.
Okay.
So this time, it won't, in the future, it won't cost. If I may, I want to touch on something that Stan had said, we wouldn't be going out to look for, to fill a position. We're not going out to fill a position, but in police department, we always, every year, we do what they call oral votes, where they actively seek the people's ongoing list. And we just went through the oral boards. They are put aside, they go through the testing and so on, and then they get to a oral board stage where they meet with the chiefs of different counties and towns and things, and sit and ask a lot of questions. If they survive that, they're put on a list, and that list is good for a year. And then they may go to a different department, they may not, but the list always changes, and you want to have that as current as possible, so that if something happened, when we have officers like the last year, a couple officers went someplace else, we want somebody that we can just go in and say, we are.
Actively recruiting.
Right.
Yeah. Good.
The other position that Pat mentioned, there were 2, is that, and this is something I think that's been done for the last few summers, hiring the person in Public Works, at, what, $12 an hour? And how many hours a week will he work?
40 hours, but we limited it only to 12 weeks.
Will that person, because it's 40 hours, be eligible for benefits?
Seasonal.
Seasonal.
So no benefits.
Seasonal part-time.
Seasonal in the winter?
Summer.
Summer.
Paving?
We do have,
It's gonna be mowing and things like that.
yeah.
Oh,
So, high school. We advertised for it.
Has he been hired?
Yes, just last Thursday. But the longest time we only got one that applied. One person that applied.
Wow. Not very appealing.
Yeah, well, there's huge demand,
Right.
and, some of the towns start in like February and March, trying to get their summer help. And a lot of times they get somebody that'll be there, year after year. There's not a lot of,
Right.
And sometimes the older adult want a little more than 12 weeks.
And/or $12
No,
an
12, I was
hour.
gonna say, more than $12.
Yeah, I think New Hampshire, I don't know exactly what the quote is, but unemployment's in the 3s. Nationwide, it's in the 5s.
Yeah.
So
300, what's it come out to
3
an hour?
point something percent.
Yeah.
Unemployment, which is very low. It's not too low. So retaining good people might become an issue too, that
Yeah.
might not be a bad idea to look at too.
When does contract negotiations start?
We're sending out RFPs now for attorneys. Contract negotiations will begin in the fall, and we have to be done by your first public hearing for the warrant.
Okay.
One of the other things that we have coming up is the awnings. I don't know if we discussed that last week.
No, we didn't. I just went to the selectmen's meeting, so that's why I don't know.
So, anyway, we went to put up the awnings this spring, and a couple of them are torn, they tore last year, and we checked into what we could do about it. And when we look back at the years, how many were they, almost 30 years
They
old?
were warranted for 10, and we've had them for, what, 30?
Yeah.
Almost 30 years.
No sewing kit?
So,
Duct tape?
needless to say, we bought the same, type of material in that form on
But
the
they use
dish
the same
last.
frames.
The frames, yep, same
Will that come out of
frames.
maintenance and repairs?
Yeah, the town hall maintenance repairs.
how much are they?
Those were about $3,000,
Yeah.
$3,600.
Same warranty.
Yeah, and actually, the prices, we thought we were gonna do them,
That was amazing.
about 5 years ago, we got prices, because we thought we were gonna do them.
Right,
And that was, I think, only about $400
right, difference, yeah.
difference.
More, isn't that amazing?
Wow.
So, and we had actually checked in 2007 or that to replace them too. And it was only a couple $100 less than that one. So we've been looking at, well, maybe we can get another year. Maybe we can get another year. Well, this year I went to put them up and,
Spanking new awnings.
so they'll be up.
Great.
Same thing.
This is actually a question for Johnny. Having attended the selectmen's meeting last week, it sounded like the highway department was hurt because of staffing levels or people being out due to injury, but yet it doesn't seem to reflect that in their payroll expense.
We do have somebody that's temporarily out.
He's on disability, I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
Yeah, but he'll be back, and
Disability would be insurance covered.
shouldn't be,
Just like we had last year, this time we had the same thing. Two people. This year, yeah.
But are they being out and they still getting paid, or are they? It just seems like payrolls would be, if you look across the departments, the payrolls seem to be around 40% spent.
If they're out on disability, then they are getting paid.
Yeah, but I think disability insurance would take over after a while.
You can't get into what they're doing, but.
No, I'm not asking for that, but it just,
If somebody's on a disability and they have disability insurance, that disability we pay them, and then the disability pays us, the town back.
So if the town, will that come back out of the salaries for the crew, or will that hit some other line item?
That's a good Tim question. I don't think it goes back into that fund. I think it goes back into the general fund.
So if we have to continue to pay employee A $800 a week, for instance, for 4 weeks, that's $3,200 that spent. But if we get reimbursed by Aflac, the duck, then that hits another line item in the budget, so.
Come back in, but it does come back in.
Well, it just seemed, because attending that meeting, it just seemed like the highway department was getting behind on projects, and yet we're still at the same with payroll, so it's one of two things. It's ineffective something, or, someone's out, and it seems to make sense, that's all.
Check and see what Tim...
My other question, John, was, and I just heard something about, and I don't know where I heard it at the meeting, but something about the sidewalks, what we proposed for sidewalks was not enough money. Was that, did I mishear something, or? I think we appropriated like $36,000 for sidewalks. Most specifically around Town Hall, and I think along School Street, and then maybe from Mill Street to connect over to the Riverfront Park, but...
I think probably what it was is, there's a lot of sidewalks that need work, and we're trying to get as much done as possible.
Yeah, but I thought we had specific projects earmarked, I mean...
Yes, we do, and we wanted to add some things onto there, but there may not be enough money to add on to them. There's a couple that needed.
Also a pretty big bone of contention, because we've been paying for sidewalks for years.
Yes.
Without any work being done, and that's the reason why the list is so big, so we'll be reluctant to add to that in the future unless we can get some pretty good bang for our buck. I saw in the last meeting minutes, did we ever get a sidewalk plan?
Yes, we do have a
It should
sidewalk.
be on Google Drive.
But do we have access to that drive, or
You should, for the sidewalk plan, it should have been sent to you.
is there streets
It
and
wasn't.
streets and
Sent to you just email?
Was it?
It wasn't sent to us.
I said I didn't see anything.
I haven't seen it.
You do not have the sidewalk?
No,
No, I thought there was a streets plan and a sidewalk plan.
There is a street plan and then there's a sidewalk plan, yes.
Can we request a copy of that? Just
Yep.
I thought, we had requested it, I don't,
Just for some before bed reading material.
It should have been shared. I know I've got it right here in front of me. I don't know if I can send it out.
I think that they need to send it so that it doesn't get edited, so I think we'll just let them figure it out tomorrow and send it. We just ask them to send an email and ask them to send it to budget. I thought that there was something.
I never got it.
I'd gotten it, so I thought everybody else
Did
was on
anybody
the
else
same
get it?
list.
No.
Those slated on the list of what was presented to the budget committee.
When do they start, John, when do they start the roads for the year? Is that later on in the year, the summer?
I've gotten it a couple times, because it does get changed a little bit as prices come in for it. I just got it again today. It was edited again 5 hours ago.
The RFP just went out for the sidewalk on Town Hall and Academy Ave. We need to approve it on Thursday, the 16th. It's all written, ready to go. We were kind of waiting for the state to do their work because they replace 2 culverts.
Yep.
And they cut in a culvert, they cut in inlet, Joanne, or to go to the drainage, so that when it comes off our building, it goes underground and it goes into the drainage instead of going up to the sidewalk. So they did that for us. The curbing, as you noticed, was all like this. Now it's all nice and straight. That's state. When they did their drainage, they did that. So now, send that out, get that done.
Yeah, July's gonna be a mess downtown.
Is it gonna take all of July?
Well, the next,
Pretty much.
next couple of weeks, they're doing drainage work. And then in July, Pike will resurface it. And then there's going to be some changes in crosswalks downtown, because they have to be for ADA acceptance once they do road repair. And once that's done, then downtown's done.
Great.
The paving's probably gonna be the quickest part.
Yeah.
When those guys
They'll do that
go
as
through
well
it.
as the paving, but the drainage, they don't have to do.
Right.
Are they grinding it up, or are they just putting pavement on top of it?
They're grinding, yeah, they're milling it down.
Good.
They'll probably reset the lids, the
Well,
drain
people
lids.
downtown will love that noise.
Redo the railroad crossing up by Cumbies, they're doing that. And even the drainage all the way up from Cumbies, all the way down to here.
I've been surprised it hasn't backed up as much as I thought it would.
Today was the first day they had to direct traffic, I think. I don't know. When I went through this morning, they were directing it. It was the first time they actually,
It was worse when they were doing the bridge, I
They
think.
had to go across the road.
yeah, no, but it was the first time in the whole thing that they've actually
Yeah.
stopped traffic, other than just using cones to,
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of the parallel to the road ones that are a little easier, but
I thought it'd be a bigger mess, to be honest. So it's kind of nice to not see it, considering some of the rain we've had, like last night, and washout.
All right, anything else?
New guns are in at the PD, but they sent the wrong holsters, so qualifying on the guns, so by the time they're all qualified, the holsters will all be in.
Hopefully none of us will find out how effective they are.
Keep your nose clean.
Well, they're bigger than the old ones.
No,
Smaller?
and smaller caliber.
What were the old ones, 45?
no.
9?
It's smaller than a 9?
20?
What is this? Yeah.
Cap gun.
I forget. I'm not a big gun person.
I don't know.
I don't know what they are.
I know the calibers.
I thought they were
know that-
bigger. I thought
yeah.
that's why Luke told us the holsters weren't long enough.
I know the Army's going for a new,
Okay.
Too long. They're buying seats this time.
because I know that the Army is going for a new one, and the 9mm was the one forever, and now they might change that. This is actually one of the ones that might be in the
And the
running.
ammo will be cheaper with the new one.
All right, if there's not anything, don't forget, we're not meeting in July.
Oh.
Anybody have anything else?
You miss us be at Applebee's Saturday, is that what you're saying?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion's been made to adjourn. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? I should shut you up so you won't say.
You guys have to
All
check.
right.
Your clicker's not working.
Why they have many more? Not complete, yeah, plan was, it's like, detail.
You got that plan yet, Christie?
No, I gotta get the road